Welcome to the Learn to Sew Academy channel. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you.
Hi, welcome again to our channel, and I want to say a big thank you first off to all of our subscribers. Thank you all so much for your support. If you haven't already, be sure to click the subscribe button below and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Today we're doing one of our quick videos and we're going to be talking on necklines. So we're going to be talking about the round neck. We're going to talk about what we call the scoop neck. We're going to also show you how to cut a square neck, then a boat neck, which some people call a canoe neck. The first neckline we're going to work on is the round neck. And when we do a round neck, it simply means that it's going to look kind of roundish, like, you know, when you open it up, it's going to look like half of a circle, kind of. Now, the way we're going to cut it, we're assuming that this is your fabric and it's folded into two. And we're cutting, let's take for an example, like the front neckline. So what you want to do is you want to measure your neckline, whatever you want. We're assuming this is the fabric once again. So let's assume that for this neck, we're going to do a 3 by a 3. For instance, now you can make it as wide or as deep as you want. So you can decide to do like a 3 by a 4.5 or whatever you desire to do. You can do a 4 this way and you do like 4.5, but generally you have it close to each other. So let's assume that for this particular instance that we're doing a 3 inch by a 3 inch, for example. Now in a round neck, what we want to do is we just want to curve this and bring it to meet with this. Now, if you have a curve ruler, you can use this. This can help you to join that point to this other point. And if you don't have a curve ruler, you can just gently do like some dotted lines and connect from here to here. But if you have a curve ruler, it helps you, especially if you're like a beginner, it helps you and it makes your work easier. Connect like so from what you have as your width to what you have as your depth, and that gives you your neckline. Now another thing you can do, because for some people sometimes it feels too technical for them, so one thing you can also do when you start to measure for the neckline is you can say, okay, you're doing 3 by 3, okay? You can come down here and also measure a 3, like so. You know, this is 3, this is 3. Now you can go ahead and connect this to form like a square. You can now come in and say, okay, you want to join this angle to this angle. So in that case, you can decide that from this corner, you want to measure like what we have here is exact 1.5. So you can measure a 1.5 point right there. And then you can join from the one end like that. You curve it and join it to that point. And then you come to the other end and you start to connect to join to that point. So that's another way that you can draft your neckline. So once this is done, the next thing for you to do is to cut your neckline. After, of course, you would have measured your shoulder and all that, but I'm not going to go into that because we're just concentrating on how you cut the neckline. So to cut it, you just follow your markings that you have made and you just cut the neckline. I'm gonna cut this out so we see what it looks like. So this is what we have, like that. That will be her round neck. So again, from here to here. We did a 3 inches, and from here to here we did another 3 inches, but you can make it 4 by 4, you can make it whatever you want to do. So this right here was the width that we use, and this right here was the length or the depth, whatever you choose to call it. So that gave us our round neck. When you open it up, this is what you get. Next we're going to do a square neck, and just like the name depicts, this is like doing a square. So again, your fabric is folded like so, and what you want to do is you just want to measure whatever you've decided to make your width, and then whatever you've decided you want your depth to be. So over here I'm just going to make it 3.5 by 3.5. And this is very simple. We've measured 3.5 here. We're just going to come down here too and do a 3.5, just to make sure that we are on the same point. And then over here we're also going to do 3.5. This is just to make sure everything levels. And the next thing we want to do here is just to join those points together like so, and like so. So this is how you draft your square neck. So the next thing you do is you just cut it. So this is how you cut your square neck. So that is what you have. So you do whatever length you decided to do. Or however deep you want it, which is why some people will call it depth. Then however wide you want it. So in this case I use 3.5, and again you can use whatever you choose to use. So that gave us our square neckline. Next we're going to cut what we have called a scoop neck. This right here. Now, how does this differ from here? Simple. So it's like starting out as a square almost, but at the edges we have it rounded. So that is going to be the difference. It's going to come straight down like we're doing a square, and then we're just going to round the edges. What we're going to be doing is like doing a square neck, only that we make it rounded at the edge. We're going to take a bit of the round neck, the edge, and that's what we're incorporating into what is going to look like a square neck. So again, assuming this is your folded fabric, you're going to do whatever you decide to use. Again, we're going to use 3.5 by 3.5. So what you measure here, you can decide you want it to be longer than what you measure here, or what you measure here, you can decide you want it longer than what you measure here. I'm just using 3.5 over here for simplicity. And again, I'll come down here and do a 3.5 just to know where that point is. Then I want to come here and see where my 3.5 ends, which is right there. So what I'm going to do, just like we did with a square neck, is I'm going to connect this like so, and I'm going to connect this point to that line. So depending on what you want to do, you can just come right here. This is a 1 here, or you can do like 0.5 or whatever you want to do. Another 1 here, and you can just say, okay, this is where you want to shape around, like so. You just want to curve that edge right there, and then you cut. So again, you measured your depth, and we have used 3.5 here. You can use whatever you decide. It can be smaller, it can be bigger, depending on who you're making it for. Then you measure your width to that point. We also use 3.5 in this example. So the next thing to do is to cut it following the markings you have made. And so this is what you get for your scoop neckline. This is what it looked like after you cut it. The next thing we're going to do is also close to the round neckline, but some people call it boat neck, some call it canoe neck. Your depth is smaller than what your width is going to be. So for example, let's do a 4 over here. You can do it 2, you can do it 1.5, or whatever you want. So I just want to do 1.5 here just for you to see, just for example. So what you want to do is you want to connect that point like that. It's a little bit curvy, but it's not as deep as when you did your round neck. So this is what we're going to have here. And from here to here is what we had chosen to be our depth, which in this case we use 1.5 just for an example. And over here is what we have for our width, and which we used 4.5. So now we cut the neckline. And that gives you your canoe neck or your boat neck, whatever you want to call it.